But let me give y'all my thoughts on O'Shea.
Give
I know O'Shea likes content to be able to create content for and all of that, and so I'm gonna give him some content.
Is that right?
As a religious young man, I was sitting back in my house about to pray when all of a sudden I found out about this video.
What's that?
And it was a video from Anton Daniels. And the video was called
Nigga said he was about to pray and then he found this video. What the hell? Why you ain't pray, nigga? Should've kept praying, nigga.
Doesn't want to admit he picked wrong. Anton Daniels finally addresses O'Shea Duke Jackson's beef.
Is that right?
Damn!
Now I'm going to be honest. Anton Daniels did say a lot of nice things about me in the video, which I appreciate. He did say I'm a really good content creator, and I thought that this was very nice. But I just want you to remember something before we break down this video. Anton Daniels does admit one thing about me.
O'Shea was one of the rare people that actually had my phone number.
Now here, Anton Daniels says that I'm one of the few people who ever had his number. Now, I don't know how true that is, but let's just say, for example, that's true. Then a few weeks ago, when I was making some videos about him, he said this about me.
O'Shea had my phone number. He's never called me for anything outside of gossip.
Now, Anton said, whenever I had his number, I would only call him to gossip. This is an important thing because in the video that he released just yesterday, he says this.
I even took some insight from O'Shea. Like, we had a conversation and he was telling me some things about how he monetizes and he does his YouTube channel and stuff like that. And I implemented some of that stuff. And I even shared it with some of you guys inside of some of the mastermind sessions and stuff.
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the you think you is?
So before we get into the breakdown of the video, we can already see that Anton Daniels has a problem telling the truth. I mean, he had no problem lying on me, saying that whenever I called him, it was for gossip. But then I showed him how to monetize his channel. I helped him with information, which is true, and he used that information in his mastermind. Clearly, Anton Daniels says things that he can't remember, and largely because he's polarizing, so his stories always change. So therefore, it's very difficult to listen and to believe anything Anton Daniels is saying because Anton Daniels just lies a lot. Woo! But see, Anton Daniels has been seeing, you know, some of the things that Corey Holcomb has been saying about me, and largely, they have been pretty good roasts. I'll give it to Corey Holcomb, calling me Okie Dokie Jackson and I'm ugly and all these things. Hey, I don't really take
I'm tired of seeing this fucking fit from this nigga, man. This shit ass.
umbrage to that. I mean, I feel like I can get the same quality as women that Corey Holcomb can get. Woo! I mean, I'm just saying, but I don't want to get personal. I really don't have an issue with Corey or Anton Daniels, but he did mention this.
They picked the wrong side, obviously. And it's so funny that it played out that way because I believe that O'Shea is trying to save face right now, if I'm just being objective. And again, I don't have nothing negative to say about him. What hurt me was the fact that he wasn't at the very least objective. He took, when you have my phone number, he could have called me, we could have live streamed, and this doesn't mean that he has to. He has my phone number. He has people that has my phone number. We got mutual friends and shit like that. We actually spoke in real life. He could call me and we could do a live stream or whatever. He taking the advice of gossip girls. He taking advice of people that ain't never met me in real life before. He's speaking off of rumors and making all of this stuff. And it's like, where's the integrity?
So because of what's happened with Corey Holcomb and him turning on people like the lead attorney or even myself, because of our criticism, he's saying, I'm trying to save face. I've had your number. We got mutual friends. I could have called you and all of this. Now, again, we just saw in this same video, you said, whenever I called you that I gossiped, right? That's what you said. And then you then said, when I called you, I helped you, which it has to be either one or the other. Almost any YouTuber that knows that I call them, I give them some advice or I share ideas and all of this. Basically, what he's saying is I have a lack of personal integrity in my commentary about him. And the reality is that I have reached out to Anton Daniels before with some of his positions. And again, I don't have a personal issue with Anton Daniels. That's not what my issue is. I don't dislike Anton Daniels. I just see Anton Daniels for who he is, which is a person who you probably should not trust, a person who doesn't tell the truth. And that's really what it is. I mean, he's a hardworking guy. He probably does care a whole lot about people that he loves in his life. He's a hustler. I mean, hey, listen, I don't have a problem with him doing that, but the problem is that he's trying to make this mutually exclusive. In other words, I can either support him or support Corey or neither one. And basically being mutually exclusive is pretty much saying that two events can't happen at the same time. So for an example, you know, either you are dead or alive, or either the switch is off for electricity or it's on. It cannot be two things. It can't be hot or cold. When the reality is that you and Corey Holcomb can both be wrong, and I can call you out, which is interesting because you're saying I wasn't being objective. I was very objective when Corey Holcomb went too far and started to talk about, you know, his daughter and his wife, which I have spoken to his wife before. Again, I've always said I think she's a very, very nice lady. I don't think that his daughter deserves any of that. And I was being objective. I just wasn't being objective enough, right? And then he says something that I thought was very interesting.
I got to point out the timing. I got to be honest. Isn't it ironic that it just so happened to turn when I go on Fresh and Fit and I get cool with Myron and Fresh? Now, I know that he'll never say this. He'll never admit this because he hates Fresh and Fit and he hates Myron, but that's a them problem. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I ain't never spoke on him on a platform. I've never done a hit video about him.
So here he says that it's amazing that the situation happened, me being critical of Anton Daniels, when he went to the Fresh and Fit podcast. This is what he's saying. It's largely not true. I mean, again, I've always used the case that if there's anybody that I dislike more than Fresh and Fit, it would definitely be the Angry Man. And he had the Angry Man come to Detroit. I mean, that's just probably the biggest enemy I've ever had in YouTube history has been the Angry Man beef. Largely, I got involved with the Fresh and Fit beef because of what Kevin Samuels told me that they did. And Anton Daniels was a Kevin Samuels supporter until the clout behind Kevin Samuels went away when Kevin Samuels died, right? So once Kevin Samuels died, Anton Daniels had no choice but to go and grift and apologize to Fresh and Fit because Fresh and Fit were still living and they had an audience. That's all it was. Like, Anton Daniels is not a loyal guy. I didn't come after Anton Daniels because of his position or friendship with Fresh and Fit. I came really after Anton Daniels, or if you want to say becoming critical of Anton Daniels, because of his rhetoric towards the black community. And this is any black conservative. And I'm a guy who...
Is that right? But didn't you just mention that other nigga? I already forgot his name that he brought to Detroit. And that's why you kind of changed up, whatever.
Who votes Republican? If you are going to criticize Black America and then hold yourself up to be holier than thou, then you should not be behaving in the same way as the people that you are criticizing. That is largely being objective. And I have called Anton Daniels before behind the scenes about some of his behavior. I have even warned him about flashing money online. I told him that was very, very stupid, not to do that for the safety of his family, not to do certain things. Of course, he doesn't want to mention that. Anton Daniels rejected my advice. So all of this, he could have called me, he could have had a stream. Well, I'm not going to have a stream about you because you're just getting worse, right? So you're going out here being disrespectful. You're going out here lying. You just lied on me. I mean, it's right here in the video. You're talking about you love God, you love Christ. You obviously don't, and we can see it. And so I'm not being objective, right? And again, this is Anton Daniels not taking any accountability, but you're sitting here every day on your platform with no accountability. And then he ended up talking about this situation.
I even reached out behind the scenes because the number that I had for him had changed. And I reached out to a girl that we know, a mutual girl that we know. And I said, hey, give him my number. And it wasn't even because I was doing it for me. I was reaching out because, and I don't want to name no names or whatever, somebody asked me to reach out because they didn't understand why he was talking negatively about them, because he had been basically tearing them down and all of this stuff.
Now, this situation is largely true. Anton Daniels did reach out to somebody that we both knew, asking for my phone number. And it does match up to the story. He's saying that he didn't necessarily want the phone number for himself. I had a Skype number that got disconnected. So this is actually 100% true. This is probably one of the few times he actually told the truth in his life.
Got him!
And then he said this.
So I don't know what relationship he got with Corey. Obviously not much at all, because Corey torched him. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that a interesting turn of events?
They don't have no relationship on them.
And then Corey torched him.
Basically saying like he torched me.
Bro, this whole thing is just goofy at this point, bro. At this point, it's just internet shit, bro. At this point, this is just internet shit, man. You know, niggas getting money at this point, especially O'Shea, cause he milking this shit. I'm milking it too, all I can, man, trying to get my little coins in, man. You know what I'm saying? All this shit just goofy at this point, though, bro. It's just internet shit, man. You know? I don't know. I think Anton and Corey in real life would still have their little issue, though. But as far as, like, O'Shea, Corey might not fuck with O'Shea. As far as Anton and O'Shea, though, I don't think that they really have too much of a problem if they was face to face. I don't know though. I don't think so though.
To the bitter end of the stick. I mean, he can believe that if he will. I mean, I don't lose any sleep because Corey Holcomb is not a factor in my life. He's just another person that has personal issues just like the rest of us. And two things can be true at the same time, Anton. You could also be a person that lies and also doesn't live up to the standards you pretend to online. And Corey Holcomb could also be a person who also lies and who doesn't take any accountability for his actions. So that's why the both of you kind of dislike each other, because you're very similar in personality.
Damn.
Ultimately, when Anton Daniels went over to Fresh and Fit and was hanging out with them, I mean, whatever. It was just an opportunistic thing for him to do so. And content creators and bag chasers are just like anybody else. You just can't trust them, right? You can never trust a person who is all about money, because clearly we see that Anton Daniels is about money and he's not about telling the truth. But that doesn't give me a reason why I dislike somebody or I want to come after somebody. Again, that's not a personal reason. But being objective and following Anton for all of these years and seeing what he talks about himself and everybody else doesn't make sense. We are just at different ideologies. And again, if his ideology is right, he could defend it, which he cannot. He should defend his behavior, which he cannot. He should defend everything that he's talking about, which he cannot. He's saying that I'm getting all this information from other people and other rumors. I mean, you said yourself that you had 5 hoes. You always keep a bad one with you. So I don't even have to get the information from anybody else because you do this stuff to yourself. And again, I don't have problems with any of these guys. If I were to see Anton, Corey Holcomb, or whatever, I don't have a grudge with those dudes. I'll buy them a drink. I mean, whatever. But you know, the reality is that
you gonna buy another grown man a drink
like Anton does, you just can't trust them. I mean, they'll flip sides, anything that benefits them. And that's all it is. I don't have a personal issue with him. I also wish Anton Daniels well. He made a mistake going to the Corey Holcomb show and letting it blow up like that. I hope he carries himself with more of a humble spirit and learn from his mistakes, as we all are in life. And that's it. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Jackson, back at it again with another episode of
Hey man, y'all let me know what y'all think about this shit, man. At this point, it's just internet shit, bro, back and forth. Talking about the same old goofy shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know what y'all think. We on the road to 100K. Okay, if you ain't hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications, slap that all shit about yourself, because that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. I'll get at you on the next one, and I'm gone. TYP the name.